Hi everyone, we are EMBA candidate from IPMI, September 2021. We are here today to talk to you about doing business in Indonesia. Our objective is to give a better understanding on several aspects, especially foreigners who want to do the business in Indonesia. One of the major obstacles of doing business in Indonesia concerning about obtaining the necessary permit and license.
This can become time-consuming and expensive. My classmate will explain from A to Z on what you have to do and don't, and some preparation before doing business in Indonesia, so you can avoid unnecessary failure. With no further ado, here by our presentation for you.
Enjoy!
Indonesia, officially the Republic of Indonesia, is an archipelago country located off the mainland of Southeast Asia, sitting between the Indian and Pacific Oceans, consisting of more than 17,000 islands. Indonesia spans an area of more than 1,900,000 square kilometers, with a population of approximately 278 million. The official language is Bahasa Indonesia, or simply Indonesian, and there are more than 100 other local languages and local dialects spoken by various ethnic groups. The majority of people in Indonesia are Muslims, and there are also people from various other religious beliefs, Christians, Roman Catholics, Hindus, Buddhists, Confucianism, as well as various other religious and traditional beliefs.
Agriculture is an important sector, and roughly 1/5 of its land can be used to grow crop, with the rice as the primary staple crop. Meanwhile, the most important commodities for export are petroleum, natural gas, timber products, garment, and rubber. Indonesia is a multi-party republic consisting of 2 legislative houses with the president as the heads of state and government. And the official currency of Indonesia is rupiah.
In 2020, GDP was 1,058 billion US dollar or 10% CAGR. For the last 10 years, typically GDP growth has been around 5 till 7%, with 2020 being affected with COVID-19 and negative GDP in 4 quarters. Throughout 20 and 21, domestic direct investment was dominated by housing, industrial estate, and office building industry. Meanwhile, for foreign direct investment, this highest sector was metal, except machinery and equipment industry. There were several countries that contributed to Indonesian foreign direct investment in 20 and 21, and the top 5 were Singapore, Hong Kong, China, the US, and Japan. 2 top leading locations on FDI realization are West Java and Special Territory of Jakarta, while areas outside Java Islands are North Maluku, Central Sulawesi, and Riau for metal, except machinery and equipment industry.
Many businesses have mistakes when ignoring the cultural and traditional features of Indonesia. For you to successfully launch business in Indonesia, it's important to understand local culture to help partners to think and operate. Embrace local culture, for example, addressing your business partner with salutation and respect their differences, and dress conservatively as a sign of respect. Muslim will be your highest and largest operating environment. Therefore, when entertaining locals, avoid ordering pork and alcohol. Indonesia is immensely spiritual with many ceremonial and ritual. Ramadan is a big thing. Participating in such cultural tradition shows signs of respect. Acknowledging and respecting the religious rituals such as consideration of praying, ritual times when slotting meetings, and provide prayer facilities in the workplace.
Indonesian people are soft-spoken and friendly. They have indirect style communication and tend to avoid conflicts. They are courteous even though they do not mean it. If you do not adjust your communication style to match Indonesian, losing customer can happen at any time. Understand that Indonesian people see personal connection to be important in building trust and confidence. The most successful company understand these cultural differences, does market research, build relationship, and avoid applying a template that works in their home market. Instead, they recognize a different nature characteristic of each market, which is culturally influenced, and treat it as something unique.
In recent years, an increasing number of international enterprises have looked into starting a business in Indonesia. Foreign investors who are thinking of starting a business in Indonesia quickly discover that this tropical country is the one of the best country in the Southeast Asia to expand their business and make important connection. Blessed with the rich natural resources, population, and strategic location, the nation presents abundant business opportunities for both locals and foreigners. Some of the most notable opportunities are:
1. Huge population and consumptive people. Indonesia has been known as one of the ideal places for starting a business, and its positive reputation is unquestionable. The Indonesian GDP was recorded at a favorable and consistent rate. Furthermore, the huge population in Indonesia ensure prospective foreign investors that once they make a market entry, they will have a massive customer base, allowing them to gain significant profit. In addition, the people of Indonesia have higher purchasing power, thanks to the country's growing economy and prosperity, granting people to have more disposable income to purchase more product or service. These advantages are the reason so many foreigners are flocking into the country for the purpose of starting a business in Indonesia.
Number 2, Indonesia has a growing middle class. Another reason why companies should look to Indonesia for their next business venture is that Indonesia has one of the world's fastest growing middle class. According to the National Socioeconomic Survey, the middle class household grew from only 9% in 1993 to more than 20% in 2019. It is estimated that 90 million of Indonesians will join the consumer middle class by the year of 2030. Citizens joining the consumer middle class will have higher amounts of disposable income and work as an agent for growth, supporting nearly half of the total national consumption. With this growing demand and consumer culture, new opportunities will open for foreign businesses that plan to expand their services in Indonesia.
Number 3, Indonesia's growing economy. Indonesia is considered among the emerging countries in the world along with China, India, Brazil, and Russia. Indonesia's growing economy means businesses can capitalize on many emerging sectors. In 2019, Indonesia has completed the construction of 15 new airports and has added another terminal at the Soekarno-Hatta International Airport in Jakarta in 2021. Countries investing in construction sectors can take advantage of the growing demand for contractors, technicians, architects, and project managers. With so many new airports and seaports, also toll roads being constructed and completed, Indonesia is becoming more connected, making businesses even easier.
Challenges. In comparison to many other markets, establishing business in Indonesia necessitates some extra work. Doing business in Indonesia can be simple and successful if you take the time to learn about Indonesian business climate, society, and regulatory environment. Some of the notable challenges are:
Number 1, regulatory environment. In order to successfully register a business in Indonesia, you need to get past several government regulations and clearances. Some of the main challenges in this including the inconsistency between regional government policy, central legislation, and the mandatory use of Bahasa Indonesia in contract. Before establishing a business company, it will take approximately 47 days, an average of 9 procedures, including interaction with many different ministries and organizations, as well as adherence to several rules. However, with Presidential Regulation Number 10 in 2021, known as Omnibus Law, has simplified a lot of the bureaucracy obstacles, and we certainly hope that it would uncomplicate business processes in the future.
Number 2, complex market. We Indonesians are very proud of our diversities. With population of almost 270 million, scattered in almost 70,000 islands from Sumatra to Papua, 1,300 ethnic groups, and 500 languages spoken. It is a tricky, but definitely a very interesting place of doing business. A study done by TMF Group in 2020 showed that Indonesia was ranked first in being the most complex market to do business. Complexity here means that before entering the market, investor needs to do some homework such as market research and validation to find the segmentation, target market, and positioning, so that we get a clear picture on how to run things before incorporating the business.
Number 3, business culture. With our diversities, as mentioned previously, we are also very proud of our heritage. Indonesia is very proud to be a member of G20 and appointed presidency currently, which will host the G20 Summit 2022 in Bali later this year. You need to have a clear vision with an open mind to do business in Indonesia. Some of the tips and tricks embracing the business culture in Indonesia are adhering to custom and tradition, like building a relationship before doing business, strengthen your network and local connection, and also understanding the hierarchical structure in the business organization. So, we could be mindful in what kind of language we use when talking to the people.
Investment and taxation intro. We will talk about investment policy and tax regulation in Indonesia. The 5 subtopics are as follows. First, priority investment list, legal entities, Indonesia tax system in general, tax exemption, and investment incentive. Investment. The Indonesia Investment Coordinating Board BKPM and the government have composed a list of priority industry. Investors investing in the priority industry will be eligible to receive incentive. Those incentives, namely tax holiday, allowances, import duty exemption, and or non-fiscal incentive in the form of ease of obtaining business license, work permit, supporting infrastructure, and guaranteed energy supply or raw material.
Perseroan terbatas penanaman modal asing or PTPMA is a common way for foreign investors to operate a company in Indonesia. It's similar to limited liability company or LLC. PTPMA doesn't need to have a local shareholder if their company is not mentioned in the negative investment list. Organizational structure. The minimum organizational requirements of PTPMA are as follows. 2 foreigners, can be individual or foreign corporation, or combination with local shareholder. 1 director, at least there is 1 local director. 1 commissioner, can be as a foreign or local. Minimum investment value. PTPMA need to have an investment plan value at minimum 10 billion Indonesian rupiahs, and 25% of this need to be paid up capital upfront.
There is a wide variety of taxes in Indonesia that companies, investors, and individuals need to comply with. This included corporate income tax, individual income tax, withholding taxes, international tax agreements, value-added tax or VAT, luxury goods sales tax, custom and excise, tax concession, and land and building tax. Currently, Indonesia has a flat rate of 22% for corporate income tax to make the country more
competitive within ASEAN. There are also other incentives for taxpayers in Indonesia. For example, a 5% corporate income tax reduction for listed companies subject to fulfilling certain conditions. Second is income tax incentive for pioneers industries. And another one is income tax incentive for specific industries located in the specific region.
A law passed on 7 October 2021 called Harmonization of Tax Regulation Law and ratified by Indonesia President on 27 October includes VAT rate hike as well as changes to the rule governing creditable input VAT and VAT exemption. The standard VAT rate will increase from 10% to 11% on 1 April 2022 and then further to 12% by 1 January 2025. Taxable income in Indonesia resident taxpayer must file personal income tax return through a self-assessment system and are subject to tax rate of 5% to 30%. The personal income taxpayer can be a resident or non-resident of Indonesia.
One of the changes to the income tax regulation, Regulation number 18 PMK 03/2021, pursuant to changes introduced by Omnibus Law, enacted on 2 November 2020, provides a tax exemption for certain domestic and foreign dividend income, subject to certain conditions. If the foreign dividend income come from listed companies on foreign stock exchange, can get 100% tax exempt if reinvested in Indonesia. If the foreign dividend income come from private companies, can get 100% tax exemption if the amount reinvested in Indonesia at least 30% of the company income after tax, proportionally to the amount of the taxpayer shareholdings.
According to regulation, priority industries should meet these criteria: national strategic program or project, capital intensive, labor intensive, high technology, pioneering industry, export-oriented, research, development, and innovation-oriented. This is to get tax incentives such as reduction of import duty tariffs, tax allowances, tax holiday, investment allowances, super deduction for research and development, super deduction for vocation. Other perks that will be given are in the forms of ease of licensing, provision of supporting infrastructure, guarantee of energy availability, guarantee of availability of raw materials, immigration, employment, and other facilities according to legislation.
When considering the general investment environment, the minimum wage is an important factor. Minimum wage rate across ASEAN countries are rising gradually to match the region's increased cost of living and boost domestic demand. Indonesia's labor market contains significant regional variations because monthly wages are fixed at the provincial level by the governors through the Wage Council and district wage councils throughout the archipelago's 34 provinces. Based on the ASEAN post-2018 compared with other ASEAN countries, minimum wage in Indonesia at the second rank after Myanmar.
Omnibus Law, strategic action from government to enhance investment ecosystem. The Omnibus Law related to job creation is the latest regulation passed by government to improve Indonesia business ecosystem. The law is created to simplify existing regulation and permits, develop quality investment, reinforce job creation, and provide sustainable welfare for workers.
So, what should you do when you have planned to doing business in Indonesia? First, you have to understanding the Indonesia culture. Doing business in Indonesia, it means to know about Indonesia culture. Believe it will help you more than you know it. Second, one product will be more than enough. Indonesia is a big market. No need to worry you will run out of the market. For the first time, focus on your specialty, and find the right market to grow your business.
Consider your client as a family and hopefully they will consider you as a family. Have you ever heard phrase family come first? Business in here means relation and trust factor. Close relation means quicker process and full support. So you will never experience the slow process like the other felt. Associate in Indonesia. Most of the field of work has their own associate. It will be good to understand and knowing them cause they will give you better insight and knowledge that you don't have it from the book or class study.
What shouldn't you do in Indonesia? Keep your manner. Indonesia is known for the friendliest people. They like to talk and interact in soft spoken. They have high respect to the elders no matter what their status. Follow their mannerism. This will help you doing business in Indonesia. Lack of legal certainty and rules. The legal rules and documents are fuzzy at most and subject to interpretation from judges that have their own interests in mind when they rule. So, it boils down to this simple rule. Always check, double check, triple check. Make sure there is no misunderstanding, get the paperwork checked, and have legal assistance standby before, rather than after signing anything.
So what we should prepare when doing business in Indonesia? So first is traffic. When said it is not too far or it's right across the block, it doesn't mean that you can get there quickly. It is due to heavy traffic. So make sure to calculate your travel time correctly. Next is the skill gap. Labor cost in Indonesia is considered lower than the other Eastern countries, but there is a skill gap. A lot of workers in Indonesia are medium skilled workers, so need proper training before they get ready for the running business processes. A S is not automated affirmative. Never consider single S as affirmative acknowledgement. As Indonesian culture prefer indirect communication, they don't like debate, so they may nod their head but do not do what has been discussed for hours. So always check and recheck.
How to get help in Indonesia? Investment Management Agency or LPI through Law Number 11 of 2020 concerning job creation, LPI to respond to financing needs and additional investment through foreign direct investment or FDI. The authority include placing funds in financial instrument, cooperating with the other parties include entities and trust funds, determining potential investment partners, and etc. In exercising its authority, LPI can cooperate with investment partners, investment manager, SOEs, government entities or agencies, and or entities body both domestically and abroad. Indonesia Investment Coordinating Board or BKPM is the primary interface between business and the government to boost direct investment and improve investment climate as the investment promotion agency. BKPM goal is not only to seek more investment but also to seek quality investment that improves social inequality and reduces unemployment. BKPM is an institution formed by the government which has the task of implementing policy coordination and services in investment sector based on the provision of the applicable laws and regulation.
How to get help in Indonesia? Stock purchase. Investors can buy shares in Indonesian companies in two ways. The first one, make a direct purchase by negotiating the stock price with the company's internal, so that it can become a priority investor in the company. And the second one, making a purchase by looking at the movement of shares on the stock exchange, which can be done personally or through an agency so that it can provide a transparent assessment of the shares to be purchased.
As we bring our topic to a close, we once again thank you for allowing us to present here and hope that this activity has given you a much clearer understanding of doing business in Indonesia. Indonesia is a prime location for businesses to expand. and is ranked the 4th most populated country in the world, while also being one of the most powerful economies in the Southeast Asia. Doing business successfully in Indonesia requires some understanding of Indonesian legal and regulatory environment. Many promising changes are underway in the Indonesian business environment, which will help Indonesia emerge as an attractive destination to doing business and a profitable market. Do not be afraid to invest in Indonesia. Hope to see your investment soon. Thank you for watching our video. Please like and share and hope you enjoy.